Good evening, YouTubers. This is Engineer Pat, 5290. Just want to quickly do a review of my Union Pacific Sdp35 locomotive built by Atlas O. This has been one of my favorite engines that I bought in O scale, and this actually is a very pretty cool little engine. And to my knowledge, that these were on active roster for a long time, and I'm not sure if these were in Union Pacific's roster. And if I am wrong about that, then please correct me if I am. There's a lot of details in this engine. They have a lot of good features on this thing. So we're going to do the review session tonight and go ahead and take a look at the engine. The construction of this engine is pretty typical, and it's pretty much what you expect on a high-end diesel. It's got a plastic body with very nice detailed trucks and a fuel tank under a stamped steel frame. The paint job on this engine is awesome. It rocks. There's no bleeding of colors or anything like that. That's an important detail you have to look at. And now the detailing on this is also very high-end, as you can see. It's full of detail, and I've got to turn the camera to show you here. We're going to start at the front. We'll work our way back. See, right here at the front, you have separately applied MU hoses here. I'm using a paintbrush, by the way. It's a pointer. And see here, you have separately applied MU hoses here, and a coupler cut bar, which is always nice. It actually functions, just for a little realistic. And the plow is integrated into the pilot. And you also have safety steps up here with holes and safety steps for drainage. And you also have part of the stamped steel frame that sticks out beyond the nose. And of course, you also have a separately applied chain that's been put on. There's 4 of these on this engine. There's 2 on the sides and 1 on each end. And we're going to talk about the couplers for a second. These couplers are actually electric couplers. You push the front or rear buttons on the TMCC remote, and it will allow these couplers to open for you. Instead of actually dropping the cars onto the train, you can put the train in reverse and couple it. And you also here you have a separately applied grab irons that have been put on, and separately applied windshield wipers on the windshield, which makes it also look nice. It looks like exactly like the SD40-2. It has a little rod that connects the main 2, so it will actually function simultaneously. And you also have a separately applied horn that's been put on, and just a very nice front of the Sdp35. All right, let me go ahead and turn the camera a little bit. We're moving down the sides and the rear of the locomotive. We have very nicely detailed trucks. As you can see, you have brake cylinders. You have a little sander device that actually looks really good, and you also have all the brake cylinders, and the trucks are actually very nice on this engine. And as you move to the side of the cab, I'll turn the camera. It has the dependable transportation scheme. That is the Union Pacific's earliest paint scheme, with 2 engineer figures inside the cab, also with the sunshade. And it also has separately applied windshield wipers on the rear, which I can turn to show you right there. And also, let's look at the fuel tank for a second. You also have the emergency fuel cutoff valve, and the fuel gauge that's right here. And the fuel tank is nicely done with some separately painted items. And I tell you, it's not too shiny. It's actually really perfect, and the color of this matches the real deal. Moving back to the rear of the locomotive, you also have grills here on the sides. I'm surprised they are not see-through on here. You also have a danger high 600 voltage sticker that's on the radiator. And we move towards the back and see the number has been printed on there. We'll try to turn the camera so you can actually see it. The number is printed on the back, and you also actually have a backup light and another chain that's been applied. I'll move the boxcar so you can see it. See here, you've got another pilot with separately applied MU hoses, separately applied air hose. And as I said, both these couplers are electric. And lots of separately applied grab irons that are up there. So, very nicely done on the back. Now, moving up to the top of the locomotive, you also have separately applied little eye hooks on the top. Yet another grab iron. And these radiator fans actually spin if you blow on them. And that was a really, really nice touch by Atlas. So, and then the last feature I have on this engine is probably one of the coolest ones of all, is that these lights, I'm going to zoom in the camera a little bit more so you can actually see this. This is actually very, very neat. see here, at the very, very front of the engine, you have two marker lights that actually flash to red. If you study Conrail locomotives, all Conrail engines had these marker lights. It was actually a classification system that was used by Conrail on the Northeast Corridor. But see, these lights actually turn on when you put this engine in reverse on the TMCC remote. They look really cool, especially when you do a night run. You can't see them that well in the bright light, but when you actually dim the lights, you can actually see this. They're really cool, and it was just a really neat thing for Atlas to do. And in my opinion, Atlas is very good. I have to say, Lionel is very good too, but Lionel's prices are extremely high. Atlas is pretty affordable. It looks great. Has really good horn, really good bell, but tonight I'm just going to do the review of the engine just to let you look at some of the detail that's on here. But this is a really neat little feature that I like to play with. And just get to take a look at the front of the engine. The horn is really close to an EMD. It's very, very close. And this little catwalk here, it folds down, but the piece broke, and I had to glue it with some testers. But it's designed to fold it down. If this engine was in like a 2 or 3 or 4 engine lash up, the operator, well, the brakeman can actually walk between the two engines without getting hurt. But once again, this is a dangerous job. And I just forgot to mention the handrails are nicely done. I didn't mention that, but the bell is on the separately applied bell is on the other side. But it's just a really nice little engine that I have. My dad gave me this one year for Christmas. And it has been an awesome engine, and I really, really, really like it. So anyway, that wraps up the reviews of this engine. I hope all of you enjoyed this review. I'm going to do a review of my steam engine here soon, and I'll be able to run this layout and let you guys see what it's truly all about. So I hope all of you guys enjoyed the review. And just one last question for you YouTubers. I was wondering if Union Pacific had marker lights on their Sdp35s. I don't think they did, but I'm not sure. But if anybody knows the answer to that question, please leave me a comment in the description box, and I will get right back to you. So I don't know if it was actually something UP did, but I'm glad Atlas was able to do it just to add a little extra fun. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.